I came to this movement through a character that I created in my basement. Her name is Gigi Ganjay. And Gigi is, I had a happening career and everything was going. I was single, I was making money. I met my husband, which was great. We had these 2 kids, but we moved back to Nashville and I sort of settled into this housewife role with these kids, and I was pretty frustrated, and I found this little room in the new house next to the washer and dryer in the basement, and I kind of took it over and turned it into this little tote room where I would go down and where I would smoke and where I could get away from everything. And then one day I put on a wig and I put on these glasses and I invented this character, Gigi Ganjay, who is very much a 50s housewife. She lies to all of the PTO members, members of the church, and everyone else about, and her husband, her entire community. She's from Wisconsin. She talks in a Wisconsin accent like this, Gigi Ganjay. She knows, this is her world where Gigi can be Gigi. So I started broadcasting. And now at cannabis.com you can enjoy Gigi. But anyway, because she's a Republican, very conservative, a know-it-all, and a self-styled crafts and locale snacks expert, she can sort of say everything that I felt like, as Greta Gaines and as a mother in the Bible Belt South, that I couldn't say. Well, I guess it's out. I'm out. Your kid's school behind a white minivan with these 2 huge, they look like, you know, like hubcaps size bumper stickers that say impeach Obama, and I know I'm going into the same classroom with my hemp Rick Steves backpack, and I'm going to have to confront this woman, and she's going to be looking at me the same way that I'm looking at her. And that's too bad, because we are all mothers, and I would say that there is no more important piece of the population in America that we need to access, that we need to motivate, than the American mother. And I would also say the American grandmother. My mother has less to risk as a grandmother than I do as a young mother. She's 70. She wants to wear her mom smokes pot t-shirt and walk around, you know. What? Who's going to say something to my mother? So I've got her wearing the shirts, and I think what are you going to say to someone who's lived her whole life? The proof is in the pudding. The kids turned out great. She's in retirement. She's an empty nester. And she's saying, I smoke pot. So Gigi Ganjay's been a lot of fun. And she's taught me a lot. Betty Friedan, you know, the author of the pivotal book that came out in the 60s, The Feminine Mystique, says she was motivated to begin her research when she realized that there was a strange discrepancy between the reality of our lives as women and the image to which we were trying to conform. I feel in some ways that we as marijuana moms are stuck now in our own 50s housewife style of strange discrepancies. Many of our sisters who come from Colorado, Oregon, and California, they're in a different place in the conversation as moms and grandmothers in terms of their communities. If something is decriminalized or it's out in the open, like we can smoke pot in the Governor Hotel, I keep looking around every corner like, I'm gonna get busted! It's gonna show up, drag me off, take my kids away, my husband's gonna leave me. But that's risk. That's what we're feeling is risk. And until we make it feel safe for women and for mothers in this movement, we are not going to come out of the pantry in this conspiracy to keep us in the kitchen, to keep us underground, because we're too afraid to say, what do I have to gain? You know, I guess Natalie Portman, even with the movie coming out, doesn't, or her agents don't feel like she has enough to gain by coming out on the record. And that is their problem, but it's really all of our problem because we, as a movement, have to begin to make it feel safe. And my own personal way to do this is to use humor, to use my character, to use the propaganda in the t-shirts, the Weed My Lips t-shirts, the patriotic pothead t-shirts, the Live Green or Die, make it sexy, make it fun. I'm an artist, so I want to try to draw people in. And then, like a good rhythm in a song, get my message to them once I've already hooked them with the beat. And that's what I'm spending my time as an activist doing through my website and through my work, is saying I'm fully functioning, I'm a good mother, it's the thing in my life I'm the most proud of. And I think that's really important moving forward. So also in my research, I came across this quote by Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who is, of course, a suffragist, and she lamented, "The history of the world shows the vast majority in every generation passively accept the circumstances into which they are born, while those who demand larger liberties are a small, ostracized minority whose claims are ridiculed or ignored. I know now that these ridiculed minorities are often the ones who make history. So I no longer fear ridicule. What I fear is indifference. My fellow moms who smoke pot, who just don't give a shit about making it legal, they're the ones who scare me." And I was expecting some claps on that one. But they're the ones who scare me. Because they're just indifferent. They're happy with the status quo. They're happy being a part of this silent, vast majority. So how do we change the mystique around being a marijuana mom? I've told you what I'm doing, personally, but I really think that we're lucky in this movement because all we really have to do is to continue to illuminate the facts. Marijuana is safer than drinking and prescription pills. All of my girlfriends who sit in judgment of me, who popped 2 Adderall to get through the housework that day and drunk 2 bottles of Chardonnay while they drive their kids around, I don't think that they should be judging me, just as I try not to judge them. We change the mystique by teaching everyone around us that hemp is a superior fiber. To believe in marijuana reform is actually an act of patriotism. Yeah. I really do believe this, and that's why I'm here. I'm here because I love America, and because I think I can make a difference. But if I didn't believe, after every layer upon layer that you peel back about marijuana and hemp, that I didn't have God on my side and righteousness on my side, I wouldn't be doing this. And that really is what we can say to the world. Just do some reading, people. Just educate yourselves. I'm sure you'll come around the other side of things. So as mothers, I think that it's time that we enforce our motherly duty to protect the hearth and home in this country. Drug dealers should not be in control of this substance. The U.S. government should, and they should be using our weed tax money to build some schools and some roads and release nonviolent marijuana offenders back into society where they can be of service. America will be wealthier, healthier, more just, and more wise if we end prohibition. As mothers, it is time to get on our high horses. We're good at this as mothers. Mom knows best about this. And ask, why is it easier for my 14-year-old daughter to score a dime bag than it is for her to get a six-pack? It's just not right. We should be controlling our kids' access to these drugs. So I have a dream that my 4-year-old son, when he's older, will ask me, "Mom, what was it like when marijuana was illegal?" My dream is that I will have a hard time remembering what it was like. Because I've lived more years in the light of reform on this issue than I did in the dark ages of ignorance. So we better hurry up because I'm 43 freaking years old. So in conclusion, it should be the job of everyone in this movement to make mothers and women feel safe. Safe enough to join our ranks. Safe enough to stand and be counted. Because once women arrive in full force to vote what's in their hearts, what they know to be true, then voting for reform is the most common sense thing that we can do. Then this fight is on like Donkey Kong and we will win. So it's my personal commitment to use humor, music, comedy, and political fashion statements to destigmatize this drug. All we really have to do is let the American mother know that she is not alone. By coming here today and being with all of you, I no longer feel alone. I am no longer afraid. I believe that I have God and all of you with me on this issue, and that has made all the difference. Thank you.